they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry, and now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
To throw is Prescott. Dancing to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Being chased out left, and that's incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Steps away to his left. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Gary. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw, it's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Powers through, escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 23 yards on the play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Run.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Buying time to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They begin with a run by Smith. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Let's go. Let's finish now.
Prescott now on second down. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding this. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Here we go. Lady! Black. Stack.
Wentz will try again on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that's going to bring up a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Trey 15.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey?
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. He's picked off just shy of midfield. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a pretty big 3rd down mistake right there.
No doubt about it, and everyone's going to be upset. But they have to get out of this now and go ahead and play. They could have someone come at them in a big way on the next down.
Trey 15.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Let's go.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
46. 46.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So we've got encroachment, and that's a free 5 yards.
Too easy for the offense. A bit of impatience by the defense on that one.
After the encroachment penalty, here's 2nd and 5. Prescott from the gun. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Prescott to throw it. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Curtis. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the 1st, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Prescott yet again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Gary. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the 1st half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the 1st half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Clement, and an alley to run. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Come on now, let's go. 4 down. Here we go.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Out to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
81. Goal. Great. Push that.
Now Wentz. Hard throw, incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Returnable here from the 38. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Dancing to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Flush to his right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll run it now out of the gun. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out right. He's got a man, complete. Give him 30 yards there. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Run, run. Let's go, let's go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. Malik Collins. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Prescott. He's going to air one out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice... And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the 2nd half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing, Prescott. He's going to look deep down the field. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Clement. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So we've come to halftime here. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now, as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not. We'll find out. Looking to throw. Prescott. Smith catches left side. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To the air again, Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Curtis. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. From the red zone now, Prescott. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Fletcher Cox in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there? Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. And his kick here is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Here we go. Going to 54. Going to 54. Wide.
2nd down, Prescott. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Go. 22.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
81. Here we go. 280. Hey, stat. Black.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Great.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to fourth down. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. It's taken to the 26. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Prescott now. Airing it out for Hearns. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. No problem there on the extra point. And that will get them one closer. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting. And the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They fake the give. Now Wentz eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deeper. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Following the interception, here's Prescott. The left side completion to Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on first. Prescott now on second down. Being chased out left. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. And again, it's Prescott. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, ball may come your way.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down. They'll run with Smith. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. To throw is Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Prescott from the gun. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, but guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is.
There he goes, right side. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Philly. 55 yards.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it in without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it. And he got it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. First down, a run with Smallwood. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Smallwood. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. Second and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. 6 yards puts them right on the doorstep, but now it'll be fourth and goal.
Fourth down, ball's at the 1-yard line. Do you go for it, or do you go ahead and kick a field goal? I think because you're going to end up giving a long field even if you don't score, I put my trust in my defense. I go for it and try and get the points.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on fourth and goal. Running for it, Smallwood. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Wendell Smallwood, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. A second down throw for Prescott. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and they're going to have a third down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Prescott from the gun on third. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. Now Prescott. Now a desperation throw. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Shorty.
Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Ertz has it left side. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Again, it's Smallwood. And he'll be taken down at the 34. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Back to throw. Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go, 46. 46.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They give to Smallwood. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Philadelphia, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington Redskins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they can ill afford to drop too many more as they fall to 7-6 on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.